The folks here in Atlanta, we're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Back 25! 51 to mine! I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm coming!
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, let's go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. No. Hey, Tuesday. Twist.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Freeman. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Jackson on the return. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Bravo! Right there. Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Their own 26-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now it's Sproles. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Here we go.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Escaping the and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
51. Rush in.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Watch the screen. 54, south. Go.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Alert 3. Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. 81 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Let's go.
They're on 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie 2nd rounder from Penn State. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
A reminder, one more game on the Week 2 docket, and it's a good one from MetLife Stadium. Plenty of storylines in this one. OBJ's return. You've got Mayfield and Darnold, first two QBs taken last year. Browns and Jets. That's 8:15 Eastern tomorrow night. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let him know, let him know. Kill, 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 kill. Hey, express, express. 80 weapon.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Ready, blue 80, black 25. Check, check. Get that ball. Hey, blue 80, got it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
22. Hey, it's all right. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. I'm going to come back to you.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. It's caught. Jones pushing his way through. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check tight, check tight, check tight.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
In the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Gun. I got him. That's me.
From the gun, it's Ryan. He's got Sanu. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play Wildcat quarterback for you as well.
Ready, blue 80, 125. Hey, Ripley. 51. Switch up. Shoot.
They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, check.
And he spins past him and into space. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards the pickup there.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Right back to Sanders on first down. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Wentz now to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles get a score closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Tuesday. Mike 15, let him go.
To throw again. Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Mike 51. Here we go. Ready, set. 51.
Now Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
51, hey, they scared. 51 to Mike, boy, 51.
Ryan will throw again. And this is caught at the 8. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 25 yards out. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Man, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
That's fielded in the end zone. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
They've thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
QB's trash. Let's go.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 41 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
57, 57.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll go again with Sanders. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Hey, kill. Hey, we're good, we're good. Too little, cut.
Wentz going to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Base. Hey, Mike 51. 54, south. Here's the party now. Get up.
Here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 46 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Ryan to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
21. Time go. Watch the edge.
They'll try and run forward with Smith. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Go, Mike. 280. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. You better bring. Wait. You better bring. 280.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Now Ito Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Partner, that would look like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Double dog, that's the way.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense.
From the gun, it's Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. Sproles lost the football, and the Falcons grab it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now Ryan. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Mike, 50. Hey, Mike 7.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Let's go.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Okay, ready? 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
Tackles.
On the ball. 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
Good track.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
And this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Rick Lance. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Hey, orbit. Check. Here we go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. And sensing the momentum, maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown the last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away.
The Eagles take over first and 10.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 27-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Eagles.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go. 180.
Squeeze, double.
We got 3.
Now Wentz. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Go. 180. 357.
To throw is Wentz. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Wentz going to go on 4th down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He's back to throw. It's complete. It's Sproles. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One final try now for Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Atlanta, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.